So for this to have or to be rewarded with this, we need to be willing and obedient to God's order, to God's ordinance. So with this, we can. And he added, but if we are unwilling and disobedient, mind you please, not only those obedient are going to be rewarded, those who disobey and are unwilling to follow God's path, God's works, will not get these rewards. But if you are unwilling and disobedient, you shall be devoured by the sword, for the mouth of God has spoken, said Prophet Isaiah. So this is a call for us to be obedient to God and to own the land. This is a call for us to be obedient to God's commandment, to follow God's path, so that God's blessing will be with us, so that we can own all the earth and the heaven. So brothers and sisters in Christ, God's reward for obedience are abundant, our health, our wealth, our wisdom, and above all His kingdom. We are waiting for the life to come. The life to come is more beautiful than the life we are living. If you consider time, the life to come is, we can't speak its length, whether it's millions or the trillions or quadrillions something years of age. The life to come is longer than the life we have here in earth. Well, we see, we know, if you pass the age of 70, 80, is the end. But the life to come, that is God's kingdom, and it is the highest reward God has prepared for us. So being obedient to God, we receive health, we receive wealth, we receive wisdom in this earth as a return, as a reward from Him, but above all, His kingdom, which its glory we can speak. So we need to follow this, we need to have this, but how can we practice life of obedience? Just let me tip you a short tip on how we can practice to be obedient. How can we obey God? How can we follow God's path? Just to obey is nothing but to hear His words or to practice what God has taught us, instructed us, is the life of obedience. But how can we do that? Just let me give you a short list of tips for practicing an obedient life. The first one is just have a relationship with God, always, day and night. Whether you are home or outside, whether you are in the church or in school, try always to be sure that your relationship with God is firm. Whether you are in a playground or you are working in certain places, you are studying or you are in an exam, everywhere you go, everywhere you sleep, everywhere you walk, every time you read, always be sure, be firm that your relationship with God is on hand. Yes. So, most important thing to have in mind is, for the life of obedience, just by having a relationship with God. That's why our church prays daily for us. Our church prepares liturgy for us so that we receive His blood and flesh so that our relationship with God will continue. So please, brothers and sisters in Christ, do not put any interrupting block in your relationship with God. So your relationship with God should be firm and a place so that obedience to God will be with us. Or our life, obedient life to God will be at hand. Through knowledge of Him and through His sacraments. And the second teaching is how can we become obedient to God is just by reading the Holy Bible. I know you read much because the Google is on your handtips. I know you have plenty of information because the TV is always in front of you most of the time, I can say. Or you may have much screen time today. I know you read much, but do you read Bible? How much? How repeatedly do you visit the Bible? How many pages, how many lines a day do you read? Because that is how you build your relationship with God. When you read the Bible, you communicate with God. You speak to God and God speaks to you through His words in the Bible. We can read the Bible. So the second tip, to have this good obedient life, or to be obedient to God, you need to read the Bible everywhere, every time, in a good manner. The third one is through worship and prayers, and the fourth one is just focus on the rewards. Do not only focus on the tribulations, on the sufferings on this earth, but the rewards of God to those who are obedient to Him are at hand. So you have to consider or see the rewards. You have to focus on the rewards. The rewards are to all. God does not count our age, our knowledge. Whether you are literate or illiterate, God is with you. God is with us. Whether we have the degrees, multiples of degrees, or a single degree, God is always with us. So we need to be focusing on God's rewards for those obedient. So with this, I need to conclude my speech today, my sermon today. Brothers and sisters in Christ, families, parents, friends, especially esteemed graduates of several levels, we all need to be obedient to God. The obedient kids in the Holy Bible. I have several examples in the Holy Bible. We have. I cannot state all, but just to highlight them. The obedience of Abraham to God, God rewarded him a lot. Isaac was very obedient to his father Abraham, to the point of just surrendering, being bound in his hands and leg, and be laid on altar to be slaughtered by his father's hands. He was obedient to that point. David was very obedient to his family. All of his brothers and sisters were at home enjoying family time, but David was obedient just to look after his cattle, after his sheep. And God rewarded him to be the king of Israelites. Even Christ himself, Mary, our mother, Mary is the mother of Christ, the mother of God. She was so much obedient to God, to the point she said, let what God has said be on me. And God came into her womb and she bore Christ. And Christ himself was so obedient to his father and to his mother, Saint Mary, even to the point of death on the cross. This all brought to these examples reward of success, reward of blessing for their obedience. who is now blessed than Saint Mary. How this blessedness she bore or she received from God, because she was obedient to God fully. She surrendered herself, her will, to God's will, and she said, "Let the will of God be on me." And God was conceived immediately on her womb, and the world was saved by her obedience and by the work and bloodshed of God. So let's obey God. Let's follow God's path, and God's rewards are always on His hand, and He is ready, He is willing to reward us. Thank you very much. May God bless you all, and may God keep you growing, graduating, and may God keep you in success, kids and youth. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Dr. Sahay. May God bless our Dubai and you for your teaching.
መምህር ዶክተር ፀሓይ ይባረክ ናይ ሓቂ ብጣዕሚ ፅቡቅ ትምህርቲ ነይሩ ካብ ንምሃሮ እንታይ እዩ ኣብ መንፈሳዊ ሂወትና ከምቲ ኣብ ናይ ቤተ ክርስቲያን ወፃኢ ሂወትና ምትፋት ክንኸውን ይግባእ ማለት እዩ ብምቕፃል ኤደን ናብ ናይ ዌልካም ስፒች ንቶም ግራጁዌት ተናያ ኤደን ናብ መድረክ
So we're thankful for the preaching that he did on obedience, and that we should be active in our church and in our spiritual life, in or outside of church. So next we would like to invite Aiden to the stage.
Good afternoon, church community. Good afternoon, Abba Manut, and our guest of honor, Dr. Tsahaye Didimas. And good afternoon to all our graduates. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you this afternoon. I know everyone here, but for those of you who I do not, my name is Eden Tekle, and I'm a member of this church. I promise my message today is very short and will not take much time. I first wanted to address those who graduated from high school and those who are currently in college. When thinking about what field to study, be sure to consider a degree that will make you a desired candidate straight out of college. Get a degree in a field where employers will be reaching out to you to hire you straight out of college. Take advantage of summer internships. It will help you build your network and land a role. For example, there is a shortage of nurses in the US. Hospitals are looking to recruit from foreign countries to get nurses. You can be a traveling nurse, etc. There's so many paths you can take in that field and make so much money. You can never go wrong with anything in a medical field, that is. For those of you who are not interested or may not have an interest in listening to a professor lecture for hours at a time and would rather start working with your hands right away, there is still a way for you to make good money and make a good living. Join the trades. Train to become an electrician, a plumber, a building engineer, a pipe fitter, etc. You can work while you learn and make money along the way. If you stick with it, within 3 to 5 years, you can make 6 figures with great benefits. Benefits may not be important to you right now, but as you'll get older, you'll understand how important benefits are. Imagine being in your early 20s with that type of money. For those of you with the entrepreneurial spirit, create a product people need, provide a service people cannot live without, and be the businessman or businesswoman who is calling all the shots. Whatever path you choose, it is great to follow your heart and be a dreamer, but make sure you don't leave your brain behind. You want to be sure you are not struggling to find a job once you have a degree. Be wanted and be the one who is sought. For all of you who are graduating from 8th grade, high school, college, etc., I'm so proud of you and happy for you. Keep up the great work. Remember, we don't need rappers. We need electricians, plumbers, professionals, businessmen, and women. Congratulations to class of 2020.
Thank you, Aiden. We were supposed to have Sada Maui come and speak. Unfortunately, he had to cancel last minute, so he did apologize, but he's going to be providing a recorded Zoom session, so we will send out the link to you all when we have that. Next, we're going to do our lunch break. So we're going to take a 15-minute lunch break. The church members were kind enough to get us pizza, so you'll grab your pizza, have a seat, and then we'll continue with the rest of the program after our break. Young man.
Everyone take a seat. We're gonna start from the graduates. There will be some people over there, and you will tell them what kind of pizza and how many samples they want. They will hand it to you on your plate. So graduates first, this table, the front table, then the next table will be the one on the right. Okay? Graduate first, yeah. Thank you.
You can hit that one. was like, how's she gonna do this? Just talking with me before, like, you know?
So for this to have or to be rewarded with this, we need to be willing and obedient to God's order, to God's ordinance. So with this, we can. And he added, but if you are unwilling and disobedient, mind you please. Not only those obedient are going to be rewarded, those who disobey and are unwilling to follow God's path, God's works, will not have.